Hi everyone. I wanted to talk today about the recent case of a missing boy from Colorado, Gannon Stauch. Gannon is an 11-year-old boy who is said to have last been seen Monday, January 27, 2020 at his home in El Paso County, Colorado. He has dark hair and dark eyes, is 4 foot 9 inches, and weighs approximately 90 pounds. At the time of his disappearance, he was said to have been wearing a blue fleece hoodie, blue jeans, and tennis shoes. Friends and families have said that he has a kind spirit, a trusting nature, he's gifted and very loving. This boy sounds like such a sweetheart, and it kills me to know that he's not home safe and sound right now. Just thinking of how his family must feel makes me sick. Gannon lives with his father Albert and his stepmother Letitia in the Lorson Ranch area of Colorado. I've seen it be shared that he has a younger sister or stepsister also living in the home as well. Gannon's father Albert Stauch belongs to the Colorado Army National Guard and is said to have been away from the home and on duty at the time of his son's disappearance. Gannon's mother, Landon Hyatt, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, Hiott, lives in South Carolina but is now in Colorado helping with the search. The two reportedly share custody of the child. Considering the distance, I'm not sure of their schedule or how their time with Gannon was divided between homes, but that was the arrangement. According to his family, Gannon was last seen Monday at his home in Lorson Ranch by his stepmother, Letitia, or they call her Tisha for short. He did not go to school on Monday, possibly because he was sick or had a doctor's appointment. I belong to a few Facebook groups, and in the one Facebook group, Tisha's her own mother, maybe her stepmother, either way, she posted that Landon was held home from school for first it was a doctor's appointment, and then it was worded as an online doctor's appointment where you go on your webcam and you talk with your doctor that way. I'm not sure about that, so make of that what you will. Anyhow, his stepmother Tisha said that later that afternoon he had left the house to go to a friend's house down the road to play at approximately 3 or 4 that afternoon. He never specified exactly where he was going or who he was going to be with. From what I've gathered, they have a general house rule that when the streetlights come on, the child is expected home. A lieutenant at the sheriff's office received a call around 6:55 p.m. Monday for a runaway child. This was entered into the missing persons database about an hour later as an active runaway. When the case first broke, I remember seeing posted somewhere that there was a device like a cell phone or tablet that Gannon used, and in the history there was a search for, "Can my parents find my location if my phone is off?" Honestly, not able to find anything definite about this claim, but I thought it was worth mentioning. If this was searched on his phone, I'd really like to know when and where. Anyhow, on Tuesday, Lieutenant Mahalko said that the investigation division began collecting information on surveillance, neighborhood canvass, and conducted interviews. The investigation continued through Wednesday and into Thursday when the case was upgraded from a runaway to an endangered missing child based on the information gathered so far. The reason for this case being upgraded was said to be because it would allow additional resources made available in the search. In my opinion, any situation where an 11-year-old child goes missing should be looked at as a missing person and not a runaway case from the very beginning. 11 years old is just too young to be away from the home and not be in immediate danger. I was always under the impression that kind of cutoff date was around 13 years old. Anything younger than that would be considered a missing person from the very beginning, but I don't know, I guess not. It's also been mentioned that the investigation was eventually upgraded because of the cold weather, because of his age, and because he was on medication. I'm not sure exactly what that medication is or what it's meant to treat, but I get the impression that it was serious enough to be mentioned as an element in this case. On Thursday, a sheriff's office patrol car with 2 deputies was parked for an extended period of time across the street from the family home, and that 2 other men appearing to be law enforcement officers sat in unmarked cars down the street. The officers left the scene after 2 men and a woman got into a pickup truck parked in the driveway and drove off. I've heard some claims online that there were officers with flashlights sweeping the yard of the family home with nothing suspicious being discovered. At Thursday's press conference, it was said repeatedly that the main focus of the investigation at this time is to find Gannon. They also said that while they have been in contact with local trash companies and landfills, there are no searches taking place at those locations at this time. It just makes me wonder why not. I know trash pickups are often taken to a location in between pickup and the landfill, and perhaps they're searching or filtering the trash there. I just wonder if they're being careful with their wording as to not tip off any suspects or jeopardize the case somehow. If anyone has any thoughts on that one, feel free to share. I don't know, it just makes me wonder. There are a few things that I'd like to take an in-depth look at when it comes to the press conference that I might go further into in another video. Members of the community have come together to show their support by making blue ribbons and using blue lights to bring attention to the missing boy. Blue was Gannon's favorite color. Gannon's Aunt Veronica told the newspaper that her nephew was typically quiet and very loving. She shared that, in her opinion, disappearing is totally out of his character, and he was the type of kid who always had to be with somebody. That detail really just broke my heart. Thinking of a young, gentle soul like his not being home, or at the very least accounted for, is so worrying. I wanted to mention that Gannon's stepmother, Letitia, has been under intense scrutiny by the public and social media since Gannon's disappearance. She did an interview Friday, January 31st, where she explained that on Sunday, she took Gannon and his younger sister hiking at a nearby park, Garden of the Gods. Afterwards, she said that she took the children to Burger King to eat. Personally, I'm surprised we haven't seen any surveillance footage of the family at that restaurant. However, I have to assume that law enforcement has their reasons. Gannon reportedly did not attend school the following day, which was, of course, Monday. If you'd like to watch the video of Tisha's interview, it's here on my channel. I really think it's worth taking a look at, and it gives some insight into just how the stepmom is handling her stepson being missing. As I mentioned earlier, Gannon's father has shared that his wife has told him that before leaving, Gannon did not specify which friend he went to visit. Other family members have expressed that this was out of the ordinary for Gannon. Personally, I do find that somewhat alarming. I mean, I don't know, any parents who let their 11-year-old child just walk out the door without specifying where they're going or who they're going with. Maybe I'm overreacting and nothing. Maybe at worst it's poor parenting. I don't know. Many people, myself included, just find that a little concerning. Tisha Stauch has not been seen much in the community since Gannon has disappeared. She explained that not only has she received death threats online, but she's no longer staying in the home since Gannon's biological mother has arrived from South Carolina to help with the search. My husband's ex-wife is living in our home, she complained. I took care of Gannon for the last 2 years in our home because his mother didn't want to do it. I would never, ever hurt this child. Whew, I don't know. That's a lot to take in. And Tisha, bad timing. Bad timing, Tisha. I think it's important to be careful when we jump to conclusions about what may have happened in any missing persons case. I mean, it's completely natural to speculate and to have ideas and suspicions, but it's so important to keep an open mind and not become unreasonable. I'm not sure how many of you followed the Heidi Broussard case, but watching the husband be villainized while his wife and newborn child were missing, I just can't begin to imagine how difficult that was for him and the people around him. In the end, he was proven innocent, but many people out there still have a hard time letting go of their conspiracy theories and continue to badmouth him and insist he had a hand in that horrible crime because he gave a sketchy interview. It's crazy. I mean, he may not have been husband or boyfriend of the year material, but he didn't and doesn't deserve to be treated like a murderer. I mean, I realize I can't change the way people behave, but I just have to mention how important it is to keep an open mind. And keeping an open mind means understanding that sometimes when somebody looks guilty, it's really quite possible that they actually have nothing to do with the crime. In the end, I think we just have to be careful with our suspicions and understand our place as outsiders. Try to have faith in the people who are directly involved with the case, with our law enforcement and justice system, and try to remain fair-minded. Police are not taking tips on social media, and they are burdened with false leads and general harassment. So please, everyone, consider the family and the integrity of the case if you feel you have information in Gannon's disappearance. Thanks everyone for watching. I just wanted to add a screenshot that I was able to grab off of Facebook. This was posted by Landon's aunt. Landon is Gannon's biological mother, so this would make this woman Gannon's great aunt, I believe. Anyhow, she expresses a little, I'll say, dislike for the stepmother Tisha, and it seems as if she has her own concerns. I just thought that I would share this here with you guys so you could take a look and, I guess come to your own conclusions on it. So here it is. Again, thanks for watching, everyone, and let's all send positive thoughts, hopes, prayers for Gannon to come home safe and sound and be reunited with his family. Thanks.